All right, hello there, everyone. Welcome to the stream, and thank you, Horizon, before the stream even started, for the $40 donation. Today, we are going to be playing some Thrawn's Revenge 3.0. Well, really, I guess 2.9, where we're continuing our playthrough against as the New Republic, currently mostly against the Pentastar alignment. At last stream, we made a lot of headway against the Empire. We basically took the entire core. There's still Duro and Kuat, which each have a pretty powerful fleet over each of them. There's the Sovereign, which should be dead. I thought we killed you, or did we have to retreat? But there's a Sovereign and an Executor there. And there's an Executor over Duro. So those are going to be pretty hard to take. But we are primarily going to be focusing on the Pentastar alignment today, which I checked and they don't really have that much left. Their fleets are mostly dead from our shenanigans last time. But hello MWK, Draco, Cardo, Marmar, everyone else. So this is probably going to be our second last stream. There's going to be this one and then probably the one on Sunday. But I want to start off before we get attacked at Tangreen. We've got our assault on Bilbringi. We're going to attack Cernpidal, and Zinj is attacking Tangreen again. So we're probably going to lose Tangreen, but we're going to get Bilbringi, and we're going to take out a good portion of their of the PA's production here. So they'll be down to like Ord, Trasty, Agaminer, and Jamis, rather than having Bilbringi on top of them. Of course, we lose our Pathfinder because of the loading, but we ended last stream and I didn't really want to do the 3 or 4 battles that were going to happen out of everything. So this is going to be a bit of a mess because we've got 2 big battle cruisers. We can go around that way, that's fine. There's not really much here. There's a lot of ground units, which killing those would be pretty epic. We do need to get more commanders. Once we're done with this little triple battle blitz or whatever, we will stop and make sure that we bring some people out of retirement.
That's it. Scratch one. I'm in range. Hold on.
There we go. Ben is asking, hey Corey, how much emphasis was placed on ground to space in the fiction outside of Empire War? It seems the Ion Cannon was super effective at Hoth. There's actually a few books outside of even like the movies where they're shown to be pretty powerful, like the ground to space weapons in general. There's like planetary turbo lasers, planetary based cannons that are kind of used to stop sieges. So it is a pretty big deal. Yeah, we are going to get our Officer Academy going at Credo. I think we did queue that up. It's already at least partially through being built. Alright, we're going to have a couple ISTs coming out. You are about to be in range, so you can do power to weapons. You can do some power to weapons. We may lose that RSD, but we've got most of the hard points on this side of the IST down, so I think we're actually safe. Yeah, at least until something else gets in range. But we'll move up a little bit. Here, I'll move you up there first. You up first, or second. Taking a little bit of fire from their support. Well, that did nothing over there.
Ready and willing. Awaiting orders.
You're just creeping around. Probably should have just told that one to go through the asteroid field. Would have been faster, but it's already on the other side of that now. Alright, there's some raiders up there, so that's kind of why I want to keep these guys back a bit. Alright. Maybe get this guy to try to kite. D-Wings.
Home one.
Go on in.
Reporting for duty.
They've got us targeted. Hold on. Increase to full throttle. Watch your six.
Awaiting orders.
Losing my engine. I got it.
Enemy crash.
Starting our attack run.
Be protecting from these guys a little bit more.
Weapons ready.
That's it. Scratch one.
Yes, sir.
Try not to let one on your tail.
Where are you?
Roger,
Take another hit like
Didn't really take advantage of our
Got one.
RST or our Nebula back there at all.
Rendezvous at Mark 6.1. We're going in.
enemy fighters.
Alright, shields are back on you.
Star Cruiser reporting.
Awaiting your command.
Let's pull you back
How can we
and
be
just
of
make sure
service?
you stay still for that.
For your next command. Ready and willing.
Your command.
Try not to let one on your tail.
Commander.
Nebula class reporting in.
Alright, there we go. Cleared off the bombers. No big deal.
MC-90 Star Cruiser reporting. Engage. Anything to help, sir? Home one. Reporting for duty. How can we be of service?
Yeah, looks like the MC-90 is actually drawing the fire.
Transfer all power to shield. Ready and willing.
There we go.
For the new republic. Awaiting orders.
Watch your
Little
six. I'm in range.
little Viscount was taking its time.
Increase to full throttle. Fire.
MC-90 Star Cruiser reporting.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Focus fire on the guns.
How can we be of service? We will engage the enemy. Take out their fighter base. Ready for your next command.
Now,
Ready and willing.
can we get you guys to kill some ground units before they retreat?
MC-90
We don't have any of our interdectors in this group.
Falling out of formation.
Watch your six.
Home one. Reporting for duty.
Hold on.
How can we be of service?
Close call with one of the RSTs, but we got it.
They're on me. Awaiting orders. Will be that.
Increase to full throttle.
Ready for your next command.
Rendezvous at Mark 6.1.
Now let's see
Home one.
before they retreat. We can kill at least some of these bigger transports.
Attack that target.
Awaiting orders. MC-90 Star Cruiser reporting.
It would have been a much faster battle with a Pathfinder, but wanted to make sure we at least ended the stream last week. Hey, Buckle.
I'm in range. I'm in range.
Oh, it still thinks there's a structure there.
Scratch one. Should we go around for another pass?
There's more engines for the Viscount underside there. It's 5.
Stabilize.
Reporting for duty.
Watch your six.
We are victorious.
Oh, XQ. I missed you entirely. I didn't even realize it was there. But oh well. I don't think we lost any out of the auto-resolve. I think those were all dead already.
Invasion commencing.
Alright. Now Cernpedal. Cernpedal. Should we flatland? Any of the above are appropriate.
Wolves be with you. Very well.
Choose your reinforcements.
En route. Right away, sir.
Wish I'd sent Kraken over here first, but we
Maximum unit
needed
capacity.
time.
I await your command.
Standing by.
Alright, let's get just a quick strafe on the victory point and see what they got there, what they're going to be setting there.
Executing flyby. Copy.
I'm just going to, like, inch closer and closer. Try to get
To coordinates.
a view of what structures they have where.
We're going in.
Alright.
Right away. Moving out.
Back off. Silgal, capture.
All weapons
You guys go up on this side,
T4P mode.
and we'll send the RAFs over there. Did we catch a glimpse of that building? We didn't. So there's a barracks there, a heavy vehicle factory, and something else. Probably the capital.
Commander, heading out.
We got over here. Another one.
All out.
Okay, they seem to be relatively safe over on this side. Alright, you fall back. You get up there.
Moving into position. Engaging target.
Try to juggle aggro, but still keep our damage up.
Commence assault. T2B, copy.
Cool.
Commander.
Ready, sir. Open fire. Run.
Alright, stay back.
Form up.
You stay back. You two go in front.
Ready for orders.
You're not as safe as I'd hoped.
I copy. Course plotted.
Choose your reinforcements.
And let's get some artillery, some more tanks, and some more of you.
What I do for you.
And get up
Moving
here.
along.
For attack. I copy.
No, come on in.
Target locked. Roger that. Attack that target. Attacking target.
We'll get the full run off if we can.
Fire at will. Let's go.
Pull back.
Attacking. Keep going. Targeting. This way.
Hello there.
Engines prime.
And let's deploy, because I think we can hit from there. Thank you, Horizon, for another $20 tip.
Yes, Commander.
Very appreciated.
Underway. Ready. Fire. All weapons loaded.
Volume
T4B.
available. Unit
Yes.
destroyed.
Armor standing by. Adjusting navicomputer.
Alright,
Give me a target.
pull back.
Almost there. Form up. Over there. Armor ready.
And let's get...
I've got
See if we can kill this.
Advancing. Tank brigade here. Waiting order.
Out.
Scouting location.
How may I help? If I can.
Alright, I think we got that.
Copy. Executing.
Didn't really have much actually going on here. I think they got rid of, like, all the units they had here were on the ground because they were preparing for or in space. They were preparing for an invasion. I think there ought to be a path from here down to that. Because that back area on this map tends to not get used very much and just be kind of annoying to get to. Like, I like the map overall, but that's the one area that just feels a bit too far out of the way from any anything nearby.
At once. Construction complete. Building cancelled.
Imminent.
Hmm. All right, let's do it. And I'm gonna try to save in battle. My favorite ground unit,
There
the
they are.
armored free runner. I really like.
Ready to roll. Advance.
Now, this is before we move the field bases off of the units,
Roger that. Forward.
or off of the reinforcement
Right
points
away.
directly.
I'll follow your
Not the
lead.
units, the
Ready.
units
Base is
are
under
field
attack.
bases.
Affirmative. Got it. Moving out. Awaiting orders. Heading out. Copy. Fall out, troops.
We've secured
All right.
a build pad.
I'm not gonna bother trying to save.
Ready to roll. I copy. Roger that. Form up.
Hopefully we won't crash.
We've secured a build pad.
Awaiting
We've
orders.
Maybe get up there.
Reporting. Let's move
See if we can
Turret
not
Copy.
die.
constructing.
Yes, sir.
Alright. AV, AV. AV. They're just, those turrets aren't gonna be built.
We've secured a build pad.
They never actually reclaimed it. So I think we're fine.
Adjusting navigation.
Yay, bugs! Any changes going to Rebel Artillery? No. There are no changes planned for that.
Construction complete.
Maintaining charge. Advance.
We've lost a build pad.
I'm here, sir. Heading out, sir. Armor ready. Forward! We're right behind you. Ready to roll. Right away. Ready. Fall out, troops. Roger that.
Unit destroyed.
Form up. Fire! Awaiting orders. One, advance.
Well,
Copy.
I'll take the victory. Let's introduce the SPHAT. So the SPHAT is quite large. It's very difficult to introduce in a functional way in EAW. Like, maybe we'll decide something eventually for it, but
Reporting in.
who knows? We thought about using it as like a structure kind of thing at one point, but it's, yeah. Thank you, Tritone, for the 6281 donation. Very appreciated, saying, ah yes, the Raptor Swarm. The cool biker raptors, not just any raptors. Oh right, this was before icons existed for those.
Building started.
Parts. I need more of each.
Beginning construction. Beginning construction.
I'd like to get to Ordrassi if we can. Our lack of ground units in this area is disturbing.
Unit in production.
Go with that. Let's get a barracks on Pentalaman. Barracks here as well. Karita, did we not actually build it? I thought we had. So let's build it.
Building started.
Base there. I'm gonna try to fortify on the ground for any planets that that these forces have access to.
Building started.
Because it doesn't matter if they decide that they can build up
Building
in
under
space
construction.
if they can't build up on ground. Continue on choke point strategy for defense. It's usually very effective. Often too effective, and kind of contributes to Empire at War, sometimes turning into just wait at the
Construction complete.
wait at choke points.
Nebula class reporting in.
Game give more warning when you're low on negative on food or parts, maybe next to the cruise. I've had to go for negative once. First warning, signing then. Yeah, so we originally had the holocron pop-ups that you guys have just saw there, which were pretty sufficient, but they aren't in the public release because they were what was causing the
Building started.
the save issue where you'd load a save and it would go back to it would reload the start of the game, which is a really weird bug. I don't know why that would happen, but that didn't work, so that had to get cut, which means it doesn't really give good information now. So we are adding the regular resources up to this corner, but there'll also be like a news prompt or additional information, like relaying what's exactly going on. My favorite Legends character is Jason. I really want to do like a deep dive lore video on Jason at some point, but I want to finish reading up through Fate of the Jedi again, because that's all pretty important to covering that arc. Alright, well we may as well just keep going.
Traveling now.
Block Hank's Miner out.
Construction complete. Tactical battle imminent.
Like, the Galactic Reset bug, now that we know what caused it, is one of the weirdest we've ever had, because it still doesn't make any sense to me how it would cause it. It would possibly be because of the same event being triggered so many times,
Taking to the front.
because it is all one event.
Will be that one.
But there should be other ways to cover that information without causing those issues, so
Commencing engagement.
it shouldn't be a concern long term.
Moving to your coordinates. Traveling now.
No, there are plenty of EAW bugs that at least make sense when you figure out
Changing heading.
what the source was.
Ready
Even if
for
they
your
seem
next
really
command.
stupid,
Will be that one.
there's at least a connection there. But like, completely resetting the state of everything is
We are fully
not
operational.
great.
Make way.
I even like contacted Petroglyph about it, and they
Yes, sir.
told me to report it, but
Attacking target.
or like on the Jira. But
Coordinates received.
Home one. Reporting for duty.
Got him. Try not to let one on your tail.
Moving to your coordinates.
would have been a long time before anyone would have been able to actually look at it and tell me anything.
Ready for your next command.
Go around for another pass.
Start of another on standby. Home one. Reporting for duty.
Watch your six.
After Tritone asked that question in the last Q&A video of
Awaiting orders.
strangest bugs we've had, I've been trying to think of some other ones.
Frigate reporting.
They've kind of escaped me.
Got one. Fire at will.
Ready.
Because the only thing that ever really comes to mind anymore is that let's see,
Moving out.
I'd probably have to just like Control F strange bugs in the Discord.
I'm in range.
I probably
Quadrant reporting.
Home one.
say those words together.
We are fully operational.
Got one. Decrease to full throttle. Decrease to full throttle.
That says, weird how out of nowhere and new mods announced tomorrow on April Fool's Day. Curious. It's not that curious. We announced, so 2017, 18, 19, 20, yeah. So 2017,
Orders.
we did the video, the Fall of the Republic teaser.
Standing by.
2018, we did the first Revan's Revenge teaser.
Yes, Commander.
2019, we did the
Plotting course.
announcement of the Vong era content, which at that point was going to be its own mod. So technically, that ended up not being a real mod announcement, but it's just because all the content got rolled into TR. And then last year, we did the official confirmation that Revan's Revenge was actually a real mod.
Start of another on standby.
Reporting in.
Well, sort of. Did a video on Revan's Revenge and then cut off the last word. But
Ready for your next command. Yes, Commander.
everything we've announced on April Fools for the last, basically forever, real.
Start of another on standby. Home one. Reporting for duty.
I'm in range.
Yes, Commander.
Stay in attack formation.
Closing on enemy.
Here, let's get the extra Marauder worth of damage up there.
Stay in attack
Focus fire. We are fully operational.
formation, sir. Engage.
Start of
It's helpful because then people are like, oh, well, that wasn't real, so they won't really be pestering you on when it's going to come out if they think it's fake.
Commander. Focusing
And then if it turns out that we just don't have the capability of doing it, then it's all
Attack.
like, oh, no, that was a joke.
We are fully operational.
I've been pretty upfront about the fact that, yeah, we have all these plans, this is how stuff is being worked on.
Heading.
If it gets done, that's the ideal situation. If not, then that's modding life.
Open fire on their weapon
But like,
systems.
Revan's Revenge requires a lot more on the asset side and just like making the actual units, whereas Imperial Reign, there's very few specific assets that we absolutely need to make it, like a Death Star 2, but we can technically use the base game one as placeholder. They look like 2006 graphics, but they at least are functional. Vader model. But for the most part, we have every asset we need for a pretty fleshed out mod, and that's all just on the story side that we need to work on, or the mechanic side that we need to work on. I am not familiar with the series of bugs. But like I've got some work done on Imperial Reign on the basic setup, and it'll be like government mechanics on Law's terrible, and they're working on some Revenge assets. So they're not really distracting from each other any more than like working on anything is, but like people working on assets and people working on coding are usually different. Will the NR be able to build their version of the Victory SD like the named Victory ships, Mon Mothma and Akbar? Those aren't Victory class. Or Akbar, Admiral Akbar I think was Victory, but that was, I think, a standard Victory 2. Mon Mothma and Elegosa Claw were modified ISD / Dominator, essentially. We actually posted our version of the Mon Mothma in the Admiral's Lounge recently. It's a bit more akin to a Dominator in the mod than an ISD2. Will there be separatist holdouts in Imperial Reign to set off the small scale of the rebels? Yes to the first part, no to the second part. The separatist holdouts and rebels will not be the same faction. They'll be different faction. They won't be around to like offset each other. The way the faction mechanics are going to be presented is going to be how we're handling the disparity in sides between the Empire and the rebels. So like with the Empire, it's going to be like you're commanding the forces that are fighting the rebels, with an idea that in the background there's other parts of the Empire existing. A lot of people have taken this to mean that we're saying the maps will be smaller or something. It'll have no impact on the map size. It's just when you're playing the Empire, when the Empire's there, there'll be an idea that the rest of the galaxy does exist off screen. Whereas in Empire at War, usually when you're looking at the map like this, it's like, oh, this is the entire galaxy. Every planet you're seeing right here is every planet. But the government mechanics for the rebels will be about like fighting a guerrilla war, which Empire at War doesn't do directly very well, so the government mechanics will be kind of framing how all that works. With updates that Petroglyph has done to the game, is there any chance of future updates that could help increase how long it takes? I don't know that they'd ever be able to address that properly. I don't know how likely it is that we'd ever get another patch at all. So it's really difficult for me to speculate on that. It'd be really nice if they could reduce the saving time again, but I wouldn't hold my breath for any update whatsoever, let alone a specific one or one that would take a lot of rewriting on the back end, which that presumably will. Because the reason it takes so long is they had to change it to fix a bug in the first place. So yeah, it's not an easy thing.
Beginning construction. Construction complete.
Auto-resolve loop be counted as a weird bug? Not necessarily, because it kind of makes sense why that's happening. It was hard to figure out why that was happening, but Bob did track it down. So it's definitely in that category, but not in the same category of I don't understand why this still happens. I tried to open Thrawn's Revenge on Steam, it doesn't work. How can I fix this? All I can do is point you to the tutorials I've done. It's very difficult to do. Tech support in a stream, sorry.
All right. I am going.
But yeah, we will do Varus again. Yeah, definitely don't use the in-game mod launcher for Empire at War, if that's what you're
The
doing.
Force be with you.
That's trash. Use launch options.
I shall go there. On my way. The enemy has been spotted. Very well.
Construction complete.
Moving along. I can.
Right, Silgal.
I am going.
See if we can capture this, and
I shall
then
go there.
we'll go and get the turbo
On my
laser
way.
turret.
Yes. Very well. Moving along.
Silgal is a woman, but we don't have a different voice for her, so she just uses whoever's code she was copied from, which in this case was Obi-Wan's. played myself.
Very well.
Ready to roll. For the rebellion.
Our base is under
Go.
attack.
Yes, ma'am.
Please
Moving along.
enter the landing zone.
Underway. Right away, sir. Adjusting navicomputer. Underway. En route. Right away, sir. Right away.
I don't want to. Nah.
Right away.
Whatever. We'll do it. Right. Now, Silgal, go and handle that.
If I can.
So the way the mod launcher works from in-game is it basically closes out of the game entirely, then restarts with the effectively but it restarts with the launch options basically, and half the time that means that once it's shutting down, it's not going to restart. Like the closing, a lot of people take to mean the game is crashing and that the mod has somehow broken it. But at that point, the mod hasn't done anything except for be told to launch. So there's no control that it has over anything happening at that point. Let's back up. Silgal, you can kill that now.
Yes.
I copy. Ready.
Get over there. Alright, that'll make it a lot easier for us. Now let's drop bombing run.
Bombing run available.
Gold
There.
Squadron commencing attack. Target locked. P4P ready. I'm with you.
In viewings. Let's put him in a group.
Moving to coordinates. Give me a target. Over there. Copy. T4.
I remember like when I was doing the last Phoenix Rising campaign I did. I think it was the last one.
Yes, sir.
There was a battle on this planet that was like taking this planet, or a planet with this map rather. It was quite painful.
Moving into position. Yes, Commander. Ground target locked. En route. We've got ready for attack.
There we go.
Waiting.
They're leaving. Hey, heavy arms?
Planetary control achieved.
Building started.
Building started.
Alright. We're just gonna drop turbo lasers there, basically. And we've got a planet like directly in the heart of their territory. So
Enlisting soldiers.
that's gonna be
Recruiting soldiers.
pretty great. Bit of food production there. Seccord Tracy. That looks like my planet.
Moving to your coordinates.
A lot like my planet.
Imminent.
Enemy unit sighted.
Yeah, the launch codes are the easiest way. And you can also set up, like, if you re-add the game's EXE to Steam, you can set it up as
Reinforcements.
an additional, like, an additional game that you can
Traveling now.
launch separately.
Reinforcements.
Just want to skip the Viscount for this.
Make way for your next command.
I couldn't resist the opportunity to take out the shipyard,
Yes, Commander.
but I do want to restaff our command staff.
Next command.
Let's do some damage. Stay in attack formation. Try not to
You need to put steam mod equals and then numbers.
Fully operational.
I think that Thrawn would find interest in guided weapons. Well, concussion missiles and proton torpedoes, they're all basically guided.
Awaiting orders.
So I think it's a pretty standard thing in yours.
For your next command. Yes, Commander. Moving out, Commander. Taking to the front. Changing heading. Hold on. Reporting for duty. Moving to your coordinates. We are fully operational.
form up.
Let's get you out of there.
Fire.
Star Defender on standby.
Locking on. Shields are down. Waiting orders. I've been hit. Open fire.
Not really threatened. Like, neither of our ships are going to be threatened by what they're putting out, but
We go around from the hatch. Copy. Try not to
We are fully operational.
I copy. Try not to let one on your tail.
Star Defender on standby.
alright.
Attack that target. Attacking target.
Ready for your next command. Yes, Commander. Take aim.
I can't take another hit like that. We go around from the hatch. Hold on.
Reporting for duty. We are fully operational.
Where'd he come from?
So this will be what? There's Jameis and Jägermeister left.
Unit disabled. Attack formation.
Star Defender on standby.
I'm in range.
Commencing
I'm
engagement.
in range. Yes, sir. Fire at will. Yes, sir.
And blow
Awaiting
them up.
orders.
Okay, Namo, you're going to be tanking for a little bit.
Yes, Commander. Focusing all batteries. Focusing all batteries.
I'll try and draw their fire.
Super
Three, two, full throttle. Got one.
all
Got one.
We are fully
Roger
operational.
6.
So
On.
Reporting for duty.
we can take Wilbringi on the ground.
Focus fire on those lasers.
Like, Zinj has more forces than anything else, because the PA still has that Praetor.
Awaiting orders. Target confirmed.
There's, what, 1, 2, 3, I think there's 4 SSDs that we know of, because I think we left that one with Zinj. No, we killed that one with Zinj. I think we auto-resolved through it or something.
Incoming one.
We are fully operational.
I am aware of the GDI, but I'm not really, don't have much knowledge on TNC, really.
Destroy that
Shadow?
target. Awaiting orders.
Power to shield again.
Choose your reinforcement.
Let's drop in
Reinforcements.
medical frame.
Yes, Commander. Take aim. Disable their guns. Focus fire on their batteries. Ready for your next command. We are fully operational.
There's still the potential for the Pentastar alignment to get up to 2 more Belliners. Unless we take Jägermeister.
We need to take out the weapon. On standby. Awaiting orders.
3, 2, full throttle. Try not to let one on your tail.
Ready for your next command. Yes, Commander.
Trying to think,
Commencing engagement.
what else could there be?
Engagement.
Now, Druid has Biss, so they could technically build something. But not anytime soon. Yeah, there's still the one on Safalor.
We're on our way.
T2B Star Destroyer reporting in.
You guys are gonna go to Tangren.
On our way.
You're gonna go to Bimiel.
Construction complete.
Still building up some forces there. I was holding back on this. But since we're so close to the end, I'm just gonna pop down all our money.
Construction complete.
Constructing. Beginning construction. Construction complete.
Constructing.
G2B over.
Constructing. Building started.
Constructing.
Port call Brigadier.
Beginning construction.
Constructing.
And I will save. Save 46. Oh my god. Get that emoted. Both SSDs can land, and if so, how? There was... So... On Enzoth, there was an SSD that was, like, in a museum situation. I forget if it was on the ground or in space, though. I think it might have been, like, a orbital museum station. But Lucenkia was built underground, so that's a type of landing. There have been in-atmosphere uses of SSDs, though. Or at least in-atmosphere examples of SSDs. The one on Jakku ended up in atmosphere, and it kind of landed, but it didn't have the most effective landing. Well, it was effective, it just was so effective that it was never going to unland. So there's that. Yeah, Lucenkia taking off would have been a bit of a massacre.
Building started.
I think it was described as something of an oopsie. Alright, where do we need a new commander? Let's get Nance down here. Where's Bell's fleet? Oh, she's dead, right? Because it was Bell's fleet over there. The Ensov.
Reporting.
Constructing unit. Construction complete.
You. Who
Constructing
you?
unit. Construction complete.
My favorite ship is the Starhawk with the recusant just under that. Okay, what's on Ord Tracy?
Complete.
Nothing to worry.
Moving along. Majestic cruiser standing by.
We wanted to drop base defenses everywhere on here.
Beginning construction.
How much is left in this? You two are going to join Wedge's fleet.
Artillery online.
You two are joining. Wedge's fleet. Oh, there was another really weird bug
Complete.
where if you would drag a really high combat power fleet, the game would just crash. And we found out we had to divide all the combat power in the mod by 10. Combat power being a value that kind of tells the AI how strong a unit is, which factors into auto-resolve as well. So we had them in the scale of like the tens of thousands for the space units, and then we had to divide that into the thousands because we were getting stacks when they were in about the
Roger that.
800 plus pop cap range that would
Reinforcements.
crash the game.
Moving to coordinates.
What's the best to read after reading the first Thrawn trilogy? I would recommend going on to the X-Wing books.
Form up. Keep going. Underway. Ready. Moving to coordinates. Roger that.
Alright, let's see if we can drop that structure
Right away.
without losing anything. It's far enough off.
Awaiting orders. This way. Reporting in. We've
Construction
got a weapon.
complete.
The corporation. At least that means they're going to be pretty safe.
I copy, sir.
So that's fine.
Right away, sir. Proceeding with with
Have to keep
caution.
an eye over there.
Over there. Can do.
But that's what I said, over there.
Copy. Right.
Go up.
Copy.
You go there.
Standing by. Moving out. Heading out.
Go support this.
We've lost.
Underway. Yes, Commander.
Nope. Still go up there. Alright. Here we go. Now just hold on around here. Well, keep pulling these guys out. One of you go up there, one of you stay here. Two of you go over there.
Ready, sir. Over there. Ready for orders.
Alright. Everybody's all grouped up.
Heading out.
Thank you, Riker, for the $20 donation saying happy belated birthday. Appreciate it.
Sensor node constructing.
Roger that. Scouting location. Attacking. Warm up. Executing flight. Copy.
Yeah, that was that, Tritone.
En route. I copy. Firing. Moving forward. Roger that. Right away. Forward. Yes, sir.
Alright, we have this infantry over here now, yes.
Reporting.
Well, you did what you
Yes,
did.
sir. Moving out. Form up. Moving
Yeah,
out.
the hardest thing with most bugs is that
Awaiting
there's not
orders.
always a very
Fall out.
clear idea of
Copy.
what it'll be, so
Let's move out.
you end up
Yes, Commander.
trying a bunch of different things
Yes.
where you have to go through very specific testing cases. Like, this is why testing isn't just have fun playing the mod and then tell us if a text tooltip is broken. It's like, go into this on, like, play up to week whatever,
Heading out, sir.
do these specific actions in this order and see if it breaks. If it doesn't, change it in this way and see if it breaks then. And it's...
Ground target locked.
most testing is the play it and see what goes wrong, just generally. But when we're looking for a specific bug like that, there's usually once per
Keep our eyes open.
per release that there's something that comes up like that that we need to just figure out.
Base is under
Ready
attack.
to go. I've got my Commander, let's go. Initiating sweep. Weapons online.
Unit destroyed.
Keep going.
Destroyed.
Get out!
This way.
Didn't notice that AA turret.
I copy. Copy. Heading out. Ready.
You still firing on that?
Torpedoes away. Ready.
Alright, hopefully we still have a company left of that.
Underway.
Ooh, there's an ATTE there.
Unit destroyed.
Drop that. How long am I shooting for? We're going tonight until I get to a point where it seems reasonable that we will be able to get to whatever our endpoint is in one more stream on Sunday. So probably like 3 hours. largely want to make sure that there's no one that's about to make a resurgence. Alright.
Roger that.
I think we're in a huge amount of danger if we just come and hit this. We won't use powder weapons, because that's going to make us
Keep going.
sitting ducks.
Your orders. Scouting location. Waiting orders.
It would be possible to make historic battles for the mod, like the Taking of Coruscant and Space Battle against the Eclipse, SSD emulators. Yep, that's what the tab on the main menu's for. Primarily, we'll be working stuff in as like NGC story battles where it's appropriate, without like railroading the game. But then there will be some of those and some other ones that we can put on the main menu in the historical battle or game modes and historic conflict, whatever the fuck we called it, in that menu.
Planetary control achieved.
Building under construction.
Alright, that actually splits the Menistar alignment in half as well. So Zinj really is the big problem right now.
Constructing unit.
Sov, do you have... Yeah, Sov, you can come up to this fleet. You're going to be the anti-Zinj task force.
G2B over.
Let's use Lusankia on this one.
Construction complete.
Once that BAC's there.
Construction complete.
And we'll save. Still working on Revenge Events? Yep. There were 2 models for that finished this week. Not textured yet, but Paladin and the Kandosi. So Sov is going to do Zinj. We'll move Nance through the southern PA territory. Amos through the northern PA territory. Well, we have, is it your Revan model? Are you the one that did that? I think we'll need to retexture it. I think it might be like render skinned or something. You were Wildcat? You got to a billion subs by the end of 2021. Will you do every GC and every mod for EAW base game to single stream? Sure. No, we have the model code. We have Basila, Revan, Karth, HK, Nihilus, Malik. We're missing like Kreia and some of those later ones. Because the only stuff we're missing is stuff that wasn't released. The stuff that was in those shitty versions we released, we still have. I want to try doing some without the SSDs for a bit. Battle cruisers. Let's all get in position. Character models be done in Blender. Is specific animation software. It's you can do it in Blender. That's where we do ours. Some of it people will sculpt in like ZBrush or something. But yeah, there's a few models. Basically, any modeling program you can do character models. You can either sculpt them, which is a different process than what you normally do for ships. Like organic stuff you'd typically see sculpted, but
Inbound.
character models are typically the harder thing to learn how to do than ship models.
Reinforcement
Paladin shield.
cancelled.
With all speed.
Sov, you're out of retirement.
Setting course.
Telemetry received.
Oko, Galactic
Yes, sir. We're
Ombudsman,
on approach.
and
We're
Thunderchild.
on our way.
What can I do for you?
Code user leading the way on those. Oh
Nebula
shit.
class on standby.
Sov,
Standing by.
Ready.
Primary drive system is down.
Ready for command.
he's been in retirement for so little
Yes, sir.
time.
Ready. I'm on it. Ready.
Nebula class reporting in.
Battleship standing by.
Alright, superior model. Get in
Moving to
there.
coordinates.
Try to Sullust.
Moving
Aether.
ahead. Destroyer here. Holding for maximum firepower.
We're here to help.
Roger that.
Yes, sir. We're inbound. Telemetry received.
Squadron reporting. Standing by. Attacking.
Go.
standing by.
Go.
We're
Awaiting orders.
I've got it lined up. Watch your six. Can't see him.
Star Destroyer here.
We're drawing their fire.
So much for having Sov back in command.
Orders received.
Nebula class on standby.
Yes, sir.
I copy. Waiting orders.
Yes, Commander.
Yours?
Yes, Admiral.
Copy. That's it.
Nebula class reporting in.
Targeting at maximum fire.
Commencing attack.
I've been hit.
Yes, sir. Open fire on the watch bay.
Ready for command.
I've got it lined up. I copy. Swinging around. Targeting. Agreed to it. Underway.
What do we got? Potato. Radar Rider.
I've got a fix.
Master Spark.
Need help?
Corellian Corvette.
Get ready. Our lasers are inoperable.
Star Destroyer here.
Rip.
I've got my
Yes, sir.
That's got him.
By your command.
Attack. Reporting.
Carrier standing by. Moving out.
Awaiting orders.
Nebula class on standby.
We are victorious.
Rip. Freya in the mod will be holding a lightsaber. That's sad. Sov's dead again.
Position.
We've had a couple just die to the HV guns, which, aside from using the probe droids, or Aaron, been hard to avoid. At this point, it doesn't make a huge difference anyway.
Choose your reinforcements.
But Lusankia, Majestic Warlord Star,
We're moving out.
Warlord Hope, Bale's Pride, Officer,
Roger that. On the move.
and Impetus.
Right away.
Super Star Destroyer ready. Cut off all engines.
Majestic Warlord Star is in trouble.
All sections at your command, my lord.
I have them now. Cannons on.
Super Star Destroyer ready.
See if you can take that out.
Weapons ready.
Ready for orders. Our engine is down.
I'm on them. All sections at your command, my lord.
Enemies
All batteries commence firing.
Weapons on.
I didn't kill any of them. The enemy killed them.
Super Star Destroyer ready.
Got one. Attack formation. They've disabled our lasers.
Fire at will.
Majestic cruiser
Yes, sir.
standing by.
Awaiting your orders. All sections at your command, my lord.
Scanner contact behind me. Attack formation.
Engaging the enemy.
Alright, we should be able to take these all out without too much
All batteries
issue.
commence firing. Fire at will. Engaging the enemy. All batteries commence firing. Fire at will. Engaging the enemy. All batteries commence firing. Superstar Destroyer ready. Corona class frigate.
There are
At your
a
command.
good amount of fighters here, though.
Fire at will.
It's going to be a problem. Virginia, the ship market stuff doesn't involve other factions giving them anything.
Go after the stragglers.
I'm in range. Rendezvous at mark.
Engaging the enemy. All batteries commence firing.
Point one.
Eliminating target. Regroup for another attack.
Fire at will.
Incoming. Click.
Engaging the enemy.
Get behind them.
Target locked. I have them now.
All batteries commence firing.
Excellent shot.
Fire
It's not like you're going to be going to another faction's planet and buying the ships or something.
all batteries commence firing.
Enemies in range. Target locked.
Yes, my lord.
Eliminating target.
Watch your six.
That'll probably die from just opportunity fire from the other side's hard points at this point. We'll just switch to this one.
All batteries commence firing. Fire at will.
Shadow on the ship as it skims the top, trying to scrape it out. It's kind of rude.
All batteries commence firing. Anything to help, sir.
Alright. All it cost was all the other little ships.
All ahead full. At once.
Attack formation.
Yes, my lord.
I'm in
Stay
range.
in formation.
Degree 2, full throttle.
Yes, sir. Awaiting your
I think
orders.
Thrawn could accurately predict the outcome of the 1940 Pacific Theater after taking in the situation. Thrawn is a Deus Ex machine, so Thrawn could look at 2 + 2, just written on a piece of paper, and tell you what you're having for lunch next week.
Got them on the run.
He got better over time. Like, he stopped being written quite so much like that. Alright.
Construction complete.
Lunar ground forces. Well, I think building another army over here would be
Vehicle in production.
good. And right.
Vehicle cancelled.
You.
Vehicle in production.
Let's get a heavy tracker. We haven't used a heavy tracker recently. Invade Contra. Yeah, we were building. Well, that's just gonna get cut off by stuff moving over it, so I'm not even gonna bother anything there in space.
Reporting in.
We're gonna take Bilbringi before it flips. There, I don't like that. I don't really have a huge amount left. And the PA, it looks like the PA... Nope, never mind, they didn't take those planets. Just, I was looking one set down. Left of the command staff. The people we retired are still left. So it's Dora and Burke.
Vehicle in production. Unit in production. Tactical battle imminent. Unit cancelled.
24 ads is. Need some ads block here. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, wedge down here. And let's block them off.
Engage.
I'm cutting them in half too.
Imminent.
We've come across enemy units.
Neither the Hapens nor the
Choose
Maldrude
your
are
reinforcements.
CIS ripoffs.
On our way.
The Hapens did get some
Yes, sir.
engineers from the CIS after the war,
We're
but
on our way.
Over confirmed.
Yes, Admiral. Open fire.
for the Clone Wars, but they didn't
Network
have
reporting in.
CIS ships.
Standing by.
Really,
Yes,
Maldrude has
sir.
nothing to do with
Targeting.
CIS either.
Moving out. Star Destroyer reporting in. Reporting in.
Holding position.
Heading out.
Reinforcements cancelled.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Commander. Awaiting orders.
Battleship responding.
No good.
For the Republic. Receiving. What can I
This
do
is the
for
space-only planet, so
you? Fire on those lasers.
Ready. Ready for command.
easy to take here.
Firing. Awaiting orders.
Star Destroyer here.
Stay in attack formation. Assault frigate here. Stay in attack formation. Standing by. Hold on.
Got it. Why doesn't the CSA have Providence, Munificence, or Vendors? Because we have a pretty good idea of what they bought in large enough numbers, and those aren't those. Like, it's not, the CSA isn't just a faction that came from the Clone Wars thing. Those kinds of ships would be accessible through the market, the ship market. That's kind of what that mechanics, or some of what that mechanic's going to give access to, but they're not going to be a core part of the roster. Like, we're not trying to just make,
Battle
here's a Clone Wars faction, because that's not really what they are. Will Hapes ever be a playable faction Thrawn Revenge? Yes. Like, there is no faction that is just a continuation of CIS.
I
Our
copy.
base is under
Fall
attack.
There are some that get, like, bought up specific elements of it, or included certain aspects of the CIS because it was a large organization. But there is no faction that is just like, this is the CIS, but later.
This way.
And
Armor ready.
unfortunately, what happens is we'll put in
A build
some of those elements, and then almost universally, you put in one thing from the CIS in a faction. People are like, oh, this is the CIS faction. Why don't they get these 37 other units?
Over there.
And that's really not how any of those factions.
Let's go. Keep going. This way. Over there. On it, sir. Spotted.
Restored. We've secured a build pad.
Roger that. Adjusting navicomputer. Advancing. Form up.
So you just thinking already? Not quite yet. Cossack is done. The Chilandion is modeled, but not textured yet. The Cossack we're probably going to do a retexture of,
I copy.
but those both have a good shot of showing up in 3.2. There's some Chiss stuff, some Hut stuff,
Let's
some
go.
Hapen stuff that'll probably all start
And in charge.
making its way in for
Going.
3.2.
I'm
We've
here, sir.
lost a build
Ready.
pad.
Can do. Affirmative. Right. Over there. Weapons
We've
ready.
secured a build pad. We've
Reporting in.
secured a
Let's
landing zone.
hunker down here.
Turret
Ready to
constructing.
roll. Roger that. Got it. Moving out.
Turret constructing.
Form up. Awaiting orders.
Unit
CIS basically end up in a big, if you give a mouse a cookie situation.
Sir.
We've secured
Right away.
a build pad.
Moving ahead.
Construction
Yes,
complete.
Commander.
You guys can move up now that our turrets are actually built. Thank you for your death. Your sacrifice was not in vain.
Secured a build pad.
Reporting.
Construction complete.
Heading out, sir. T2B over.
We've secured.
Target. We'll assist you.
Feel free to ask questions, Battleship,
On it,
but I
sir.
don't necessarily have many answers for you right now. I don't think.
Troops. Let's move
How are the character icons made? Just drawing them on a transparent
We've
computer
secured
paper?
a
No. The
construction complete.
usually they're just like Photoshop versions of official images, but for some of the new ones that like Dark Legion, Valerie, and Shine are doing, they'll be drawn from other stuff. Sometimes we've actually started using like AI generated faces for certain things. We were playing with like the celebrity images for a bit, but I don't know how I feel about doing those because they're a bit too recognizable and end up looking kind of weird sometimes. But there are a few, like the new Warlord portraits that were done as digital drawings, digital paintings by Dark Legion. Valerie did all the CSA heroes when the CSA was added. Oh, not good. But yeah, Valerie did like all the CSA heroes from scratch, based off of the reference images that did exist. But there's a few ways that they're done in it. Someone else can handle that. I just want the turrets back here. Here we go.
Turret constructing.
Roger that.
Let's fly all around there.
Form up.
A build pad.
Reporting. Yes, sir. Fourth Alliance. Awaiting
Destroyed.
orders. Yes, Commander.
We've secured
Back up.
turret
Gonna be AV turrets everywhere.
construction complete.
Target in.
Oh, back off. Don't get run over, please. Get some rockets in there. Nice.
Forward. Right. Reporting.
Okay.
Turret has been sold.
Yes.
Get that healed, and let's move up.
Moving ahead. I'm here, sir.
Get some more
Heading out,
turrets on the entry positions. I'm gonna move these away so that they don't get bombarded with this section if the AI decides they want to hit that section again.
We've secured
right with you.
a build pad.
Ready.
Turret
Armor
constructing.
standing by. Affirmative. Armor ready. Move it out. Ready to roll.
Alright, I'm gonna go over to this side with it.
We've secured a build pad.
Roger that. Reporting in.
Okay, we want this hellfire down because it is just pumping in fire over the hill. And let's fall back now.
I copy. Reporting. This way. Yes, sir. Yes, Commander.
Trying to break into the base that way.
Ready to roll.
Right.
Fall out,
Move up on
troops.
this side.
Roger that. Let's
Move up
move
on
out.
this side.
Ready. T2B over.
And this is really gonna hurt Zinj's ability to do any other invasions too. Like they have a good space force, but they don't have much left on ground.
We've lost a build pad.
Nice, nice, nice.
Heading out. Armor ready. Attack that target. Ready to roll. Roger that. Attacking target. Form up. Awaiting orders. Fire at will.
Right, that's still working, so I'm not upset.
Awaiting orders. Let's go. Copy. Keep going. I
Definitely
copy.
not upset.
We've lost a build pad.
Reporting. Attack.
I kind of want to fly in there and
Targeting.
kill
Firing.
the.
We've secured
Forward.
a build pad.
Right away.
That's gonna kill us.
Yes, sir.
What are you going for? This area? That's 2 T2Bs. I don't particularly care, to be honest.
Build pad. build pad.
Over there.
We've
Out, man.
secured a build
Right.
pad.
Squad, advance. Ready. I've got him in my sights.
All right.
T2B over.
Where are
T2B,
RAFs?
copy. Moving out.
Send these guys in together. We're gonna kill the ATTE, and then we're gonna kill that. So T2Bs, you're gonna go in first.
Standing by. Armor ready.
Waste its ammo.
Ready to roll. Weapons
Now kill
ready.
that. Thank you, Sanafar, for the $5 donation. Saying, "Hey gamers, your boy Corey Loses here, coming at you live with another crazy New Republic playthrough. Shout out to my Wookiee friends. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to smash that bell."
We've
Peace.
secured a build pad.
Roger that.
Hit myself.
Heading out.
I'm here now.
Attack! Warm up. Let's move out.
You start and tell yourself you're never gonna do certain things. Just gotta kill these infantry. And this little guy hiding back in the woods. Don't think I don't see you.
Over there. On it, sir. I've got him.
We
in
got
my
one
sights.
dude just running
Course
down
spotted.
here. Good luck with the invasion, buddy. You got this. You don't got this.
Victorious.
All right. So they're stuck. There's those 4 Great Eldred planets that aren't going to be a problem. Well, I'm going to grab them. Diet. So, I think you guys, I talked about the journey I had for Vanilla Coke last time, and well, I did find that thing to order Vanilla Coke online. What I ended up also finding at the store was this, which is, I don't know if you can see it, extra caffeine, Diet Coke, toasted vanilla, which is acceptable and about a quarter of the price. So, and I'm not opposed to drinking zero sugar diet. Yes, have to. Was it mentioned somewhere that a new guide for getting units was coming out, or is that all this in the game? So there is this, the Influence Guide and Unique Units, which does show all the unique stuff here. But there will be a website eventually that has all the information on what you can get everywhere in game. Look, Rhino, it's just... that's all I got, okay? After quarantine, I need a lot more exercise anyways, so if I cut out any regular pop for that, then whatever. It is what it is. Be how it do. Build any ship. Cola and vanilla ice cream. I've never really been big on floats, actually. I don't know if that's as controversial as my other food opinions are, but thank you, Chrissy, for the donation. Let's get Atlantis, Dinro, Starfire, Impetus.
Constructing unit.
And we're building the boarding fleet, as promised.
Building under construction.
T2B over. Reporting in.
What do we actually have here? Invading drill? What's a Yaga Miner? This is too juicy to not.
Boarding shuttle awaiting target.
Traveling now.
T4B. T2B
Tactical
over.
battle imminent.
All right, let's do it and see where. Well, I'm gonna move these off. I think it should still revolt, even if we're
Enemy forces ahead.
not there.
Choose your reinforcements.
We'll be
Namo,
there shortly. With
Bad
all
One,
speed,
Cal Entertainment,
engage.
Faceless Bean, was an MC80 boy,
Location.
during
Take us in.
Conviction, Medical
We're heading
Frigate,
out.
and Dread.
Moving to those coordinates.
They don't have an HV gun, I don't think, so I don't remember seeing one.
Home one. Reporting for duty.
I used to do just like putting vanilla extract into Coke, but it's not the same.
How can we be of service? On our way. Awaiting orders. All weapons.
Like, I love
Ready and
milkshakes. I guess that's probably why I don't love floats as much, is because it's like, if I ever have one, it's just, why am I not drinking a milkshake right now? And what it comes down to.
Waiting bombers reporting in.
MC-90 Star Cruiser reporting.
3-2, full throttle.
Ready for your next command.
Lasers linked and
How
ready.
can we be of service?
Awaiting orders.
Ready! Engines at
Target's
full!
coming in.
Reporting
Namo, hold on there. What is your tier, anyways? Tier 3.
MC-90 Star Cruiser reporting.
6.1.
How can we be of service?
Alright, let's kill this raider before it kills all our fighters.
Prepare for combat.
I'm in range. Stay in attack formation on. I've got it lined up.
Ready for your next
Now, you drop there.
Power toward the ship.
Power to shields.
For the new republic. Home one. Reporting MC-90 Star
I'm gonna keep
Cruiser
a
reporting.
couple
Endurance on station.
I copy. I need help.
on the Golan, and I want to get this 90 on the enemy ships.
Give the word. Endurance class at your disposal.
I'm gonna send the
sir.
endurance for some help there.
Ready for your next command. Ready and willing.
I've lost engine 2. Watch your 6.
Focus fire on their weapons. Reporting for duty. MC-90 Star Cruiser reporting.
Stay in attack formation.
Taking down their defenses. With all speed.
Awaiting
Pull
orders.
back,
Move to that location.
Full throttle.
Awaiting orders.
and
Moving to your coordinates.
see if we can move up on this.
I've been hit.
We will engage the enemy.
Target coming in fast.
Our engines are damaged.
I've got my approach.
We have lost.
Pull back, please.
But we can still fight. Reporting.
That's got him. Should we go around for another pass attack formation?
Let's redirect the bombers to the ISD.
For your next command.
That's got him.
Target confirmed. Trooper ready. Target confirmed.
Can you kill the shipyard before anything else comes out?
MC-90 Star Cruiser reporting. How can we be of service?
Hold on.
You know what? If this is where you want to be, just go.
Ready and willing.
We're gonna pop our shields back up on that one.
Engage. That's got him.
E-wing in there.
Hold on. That's got
Go and heal.
Babylon B frigate
You
here.
come up a bit. Medical frigate as well.
MC-90 Star Cruiser reporting. How can we be of service? Engage. We will engage the enemy. Awaiting orders.
Shields. Shit.
Ready and willing.
Oh,
Awaiting
not what I
orders.
wanted.
Knock out those weapons.
Timing was just off there.
MC-90 Star Cruiser reporting.
Well,
Prepare for
this is unimportant now.
for your next command.
I definitely need to apply the change I made to garrison respawn timers on ground in space as well. I don't think I did that.
Reporting for duty. How can we be of service?
Endurance on station.
Nice clear
Ready
area.
and willing.
Hold on.
Waiting
Attack
orders.
formation. Attacking target. I'll try and draw their fire.
Awaiting orders.
Mark.
Focus fire on those lasers.
Attack formation.
Reporting.
Enemy got Archer 6.
Alright, everyone should be able to get to full
MC-90
shields
Star Cruiser reporting.
before we move on the station.
How can we be of service?
Let's just picket it from distance.
Weapons online. Preparing for combat.
Ready and willing.
I made it so the ground garrisons have 30 seconds rather than 5 before respawning,
Prepare for combat.
so that it's less of like kill something and it rushes back in, especially with the like hover tank type stuff, because those are usually very fast.
Reporting for duty.
So I want to do that to space as well, so it's not like you kill the ship and then it's immediately back.
Yes, sir.
Because otherwise it just kind of feels bad to kill the garrisons, unless it's the last thing of that type. You're not giving yourself any advantage. In a lot of cases, you just feel bad about doing the last bit of health because they'll come back at full right away. At least if you are taking them down and there's a time before they respawn, you're giving yourself a bit of time beforehand.
Guard area.
Awaiting orders. Decrease to full throttle. Rendezvous at Mark 6.1. Stay in attack formation.
Ready and willing.
Don't try and draw their fire.
MC-90 Star Cruiser reporting.
Got a fix.
Awaiting orders.
Well, Nomo's just going in.
Awaiting orders.
Okay.
How can we be of service?
Standing by.
Setting course. Ready and willing. On our way. Reporting. MC-90 Star Cruiser reporting.
Onto the side.
Ready for your next command. Weapons on. Fire.
Ready for orders. Attack.
I copy. Fire at will.
Copy. Starting
Okay.
my run.
No, you can just stop there.
Bring them down.
Endurance on station.
And you're actually getting your shots off anyways, so that's all good.
Move out.
Onward. Reporting. How can we be of service? With all speed. Ready and willing.
I'm in
You go help your buddy there, Badmon Cal.
Reporting.
Shields on.
Engage.
Awaiting orders.
And this time we're actually going to focus on the ion cannons. I usually don't, but we have a bunch of Mon Cal ships here with full shields,
Disposal, sir.
so those are the most threatening weapons right now.
Star Cruiser reporting.
Try not to let one on your tail.
Engage.
Alright, I'm going to pull you back a bit.
On our way. Reporting. Bring them down. Reporting for duty.
It's like, yeah, they won't do any hull damage, but they do more individual damage, and if our shields never go down, we don't have to worry about hull damage either.
Need help?
How can we be of service? Ready and willing, with all speed.
Forward onto there.
Command.
I'm just gonna use the turn.
I've got one on me.
Traveling now. We'll be there shortly. Home one.
I hate.
Reporting for duty.
There's some ships that I can just never get attacked and show up on the turn in place button.
C-90 Star Cruiser reporting. Engage. For the New Republic. Yes. Fire all awaiting
Endurance on station.
Ready for your next command.
There we go.
Ready. How can we be of service? Shields ready and willing. Reporting.
I copy.
Give the word.
Reporting.
And we gotta start going
C-90 Star Cruiser reporting.
after the Golem 2 now.
Ready.
This will just die as we do a drive-by. Let Enduring Conviction kill it, even.
Choose your reinforcements.
And the Viscount had a nice day off.
Awaiting orders. Blast their weapons.
Awaiting orders. Troopers ready. All weapons. Fire. Focus on the hangar bay. How can we be of service?
Yes, sir.
Alright.
The enemy has been defeated.
I almost never use hotkeys for anything, Zap. I'm too used to playing with my keyboard out of the way.
I am going.
Building started.
Let's save again, just in case. So, what do we actually have here? Gotta kill Dala. Got the Greater Maldrude, a CSA planet, a Zinj planet in the north with the SSD. Technically all the Hapens. But what is the... I don't think the PA has anything but Jameis to build capital ships at now. Does anyone really have any capital ship building planets? Kuat, obviously, Biss. But Biss, they're not really using to build anything. Greater Maldrude has basically decided they're done. We'll kill Dala next time and deal with some of the Evethans. Well, let's see. There's Jameis. What's Zinj got? Dathomir. That's why they've got like 30,000 capital ships. They can't take Contrum. Contrum's mine. Industrial supplies would be good. Yeah, they can build at the mob, but we've got her under house arrest, so...
Artillery online.
Traveling now.
Invasion commencing. System control achieved.
Beginning construction.
Speaking of music, I should start KOTOR 1's soundtrack. Borleus, let's get some parts.
Constructing unit.
Lance, your fleet awaits.
Understood.
Construction
Right.
complete.
Now, Silgal,
Mission commenced.
lead our forces to victory. Did the purchase of, like, the Microsoft Discord purchase, did that actually happen, or is that just
Go there.
something that's, like, in
The
talks?
force be with you.
Choose your reinforcements.
En route.
We're gonna back up Silgal with some artillery and some air.
Right away. Underway.
Well, not air, but...
Reporting. Copy.
Construction complete.
It's like,
We've located the enemy. Moving to coordinates. Attack that target.
I feel like there's a pretty close relationship between when Microsoft bought Skype and me not using Skype anymore.
Secured an abandoned sensor array.
Artillery online. Copy, sir. Moving into position. Right away, sir.
So there's that.
Reporting.
Thank you, Chrissy, for the £2 donation, saying, what do you think of Star Wars meme music? I don't really know any Star Wars music. Well, I don't know that I've ever thought about it.
Targeting. Moving out.
We've secured
I
a
await your
build
command.
Alright, Silgal,
I copy.
stay there. I think we will need,
Firing. Heading out. Ready. We're going in. All out. Ground target locked. Fire. Yes. Open fire. Standing by. Ready.
like, part of why no one used Skype anymore is because stuff like Discord popped up, and it's just so much more useful the way it's set up.
Move out.
But still,
All weapons loaded. I copy. Checking sector. P4P. Give me a target. Commander? Yes?
We've secured a
I'm
landing
here,
zone.
sir.
Choose your reinforcements.
Right away, sir.
We've secured
Ready.
a build pad.
Ready, sir.
I mean, I never had a Skype button.
Right away. Fire at will.
See if we can kill this turret before that deal goes through. I wanted 500 credits for
Copy. Heading out,
an anti-vehicle
Yes, sir.
turret there. Hold them to pound sand.
Bombing run available.
Fire.
Will be bombing run and orbital bombardment cooldown increases? No.
Call out, troops.
The changes to bombing runs and orbital bombardments are typically around when you're able to use them without making it as much on the cooldown side of it. Like making it so that there's things like the shields that limit them and that kind of thing. And like hypervelocity guns and stuff that limit them. So that they're kind of sub-objectives within the battle where like, oh, we gotta take down the shield and then we can use our orbital support. So we don't want to remove their ability to help finish off battles that are dragging out too long, and I think we've move pretty well in the right direction. Because, like, if the cooldown is too long, what that usually just means is people will spend more time sitting there waiting for them to be available. Whereas if it's not the cooldown and it's something else that's preventing you from using it that requires some sort of, like, active decision-making by the player, then that can reduce the impact of the orbital bombardments and bombing runs in determining the early phases of the battle, especially, keeping the ground battles a bit more self-contained, without contributing as much to just a feeling that it's a slog that you need to sit and wait for. They effectively act as get me the hell out of here buttons. That was a rough end phase there. Hey.
Building started.
Get another save. I want to deal with Dathomir next. Like, it's Dathomir, Kuat, Biss. Those are the big next targets, I think. We'll see if either of them does anything about each other. Like, if the PA and Zinj do anything to each other, if we just go and take out some of these side things. And I think that means, like, Biss is our best option now. See, move you. This.
Reporting in. Assault Brigadier. Reporting in.
Really doing that again, Zinj?
Building started.
You and what army? Like... Like, I'll give you this. You got a decent fleet, but, I feel like it's just gonna be that stuff.
Constructing.
Beginning construction.
On our way.
Tactical battle imminent.
Let's take out Dathomir. Maybe we'll just leave Biss. I don't think that'll be an especially interesting battle.
There they are.
Because it's basically just going to be a base assault. Alright. Paladin Shield.
We're inbound. Telemetry received.
Moving around. Fall out. Let's move out. Right away. Heading out. Fall out.
The Yes, sir. Thrusters engaged.
Yes, Commander. Ready for command.
Nebula class on standby. Yes, Admiral. Yes, sir. We're on approach. We're on our way. We're inbound.
Nope. Stop it. Stop it. Just stay still. You can obviously be where you are.
Reporting in.
Fine, if I tell you to stay still.
Yes, sir. Star Destroyer here.
Go forward.
Nebula class on standby.
AW and pathfinding.
Battleship responding. Destroy those laser batteries. Shields
Yes,
at
sir.
maximum.
Telemetry received. Nebula class reporting in. Yes, sir. Star Destroyer here.
Ready for command. Firing on the
Nebula
engines.
class on standby. Beginning our engagement. Yes, sir.
One squadron reporting.
Holding position.
A-Wings, go for the Allegiance.
Roger that. Destroy those laser batteries.
Reporting in.
The obvious threat here.
For command. I thought you'd never ask. Moving out. Primary thrusters disabled.
There.
Our launch bay is gone. Firing. Targeting.
Tanking, Mr. Mediator.
Yes, sir.
Nebulas are doing some work
Star
here.
Destroyer here. Commencing attack. Commencing
That
attack.
gigantic range of theirs.
Nebula class on standby. Yes, Admiral. Nebula class reporting in.
Roger that.
Yes, sir.
We're here to help.
Okay. I don't need to worry about the shipyard,
Batteries
because that ISD is the last one.
on standby.
Holding position.
I need to get some support in for the Mediator for Paladin
Open
Shield.
fire. Nebula class reporting in. Yes, sir. Open fire.
Roger that.
Star Destroyer here.
Okay. Powder weapons.
Beginning our engagement.
Rip her apart.
Focus fire on the guns.
Space artillery. Kind of. Like the Peltist is the bigger, or more obvious space artillery type of thing, but like the Nebulas have a lot of damage and they have a lot of range. So especially with powered weapons, they can kind of just sit behind something that's tankier than them, and just like
Nebula class.
put out damage with very little fear of getting counterattacked. So they can outdamage
Beginning our
pretty much most things.
Roger that.
Star Destroyer here. Nebula class on standby.
Like, for a long time, there were people asking us to buff the Nebula, but part of that just came from like a misunderstanding of how the stats are distributed and what that would actually mean. Like, if we raise the raw stats for them in health and damage, then you're also getting fewer fighters out of them if you're getting like equivalent amount of pop cap worth of nebulas. So you're getting fewer fighters, you're putting more of that pop cap towards health rather than the damage that they're putting out. When you can put them behind something like an MC-90 or even one of the battle cruisers, like a Home 1 or a Mediator,
Yes, sir.
and it would
Star Destroyer here.
ultimately generally act as a net nerf to their actual usefulness in their role. unless the only buff to them went straight to the damage. But the problem is, when people said they were too weak, they were usually basing that off of having like
Yes, sir.
dropped it right next to an ISD in instant action. Which is like, yeah, there is a breakpoint where you could have given them enough extra damage to make that not happen as much, but like that undervalues the range they're getting, where they're supposed to be firing at stuff from out of its range or get a lot of damage down before the range gets closed.
Receiving.
Like, people doing one-on-ones in instant action has resulted in a few misconceptions about what things actually do.
They're coming around.
My copy.
Nebula class reporting in.
Your command, sir. Targeting
got my
at
approach
maximum
vector.
firepower.
Yes, Commander. Initiating attack.
Yes, sir.
Point one.
We're on our way. Open fire. We're inbound.
I've got a fix.
Like, it's the game is about fleet compositions rather than like 1v1 performance.
Hold on.
If you just look at how stuff does, like starting from in range with both things firing at each other, no support for either,
Gun emplacements.
then like yeah, you're gonna get
Assault frigate here.
kind of skewed results.
Target those lasers.
Yes, Admiral. Commencing attack. Open fire. Nebula class reporting in.
Like that can be useful information how they're gonna be performing in one-on-ones under those situations, but it's leaving a lot of the strengths out
Reporting in.
and a lot of
Yes,
weaknesses
sir.
for ships.
Open fire. Beginning our engagement. Beginning our engagement.
Ready. Attack.
If you were to, for example, fight Lucre Hawks with just things that outrange it, gonna seem weaker. If you fight a Nebula within range of something that is going to be a bit more durable than it, then it's going to seem weaker than if it's able to use all of its own strengths properly. Really, the goal is for there to be, whether you want to focus on like big ships, small ships, whatever, there should be ways to do that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that everything accomplishes everything the same way. And not everything should be like equal in every way. If you have 300 pop cap of something, then it should be overall in raw stats relatively similar to 300 pop cap of something else. Or if you have 60,000 credits worth of something, it should be relatively similar to 60,000 credits worth of something else. And there will be like role disparities within that, where if you are doing like 200 pop cap of anti-fighter ships against a carrier fleet, that's going to be better than if you're using 60 or whatever I said, 200 pop cap of anti-fighter ships against frigates or something that's going to be intended to kill them. So you do have to account for roles within that, but your overall absolute value shouldn't be super off from one type to another.
Building under construction.
So I'm gonna move Kraken. I'm not gonna bother sending Kraken down there.
Tactical battle imminent.
Right. The Bike Rush, Hailfires. They don't seem to have anything very tanky here, though. Mine Hailfire companies.
Affirmative. Heading out. Yes, sir. Reporting in. Right away. Reporting. Adjusting nav. Ready to roll. Moving ahead. Roger that.
We've
I think, like, if you want to think of the Nebula example, but
Ready.
writ large, it's the Empire of the Hand,
lost a building.
where if you're starting every battle within range for them, they're gonna come out looking much worse than if you started from their max effective
Waiting order is
range,
approaching. Fall out, troops.
which is on average significantly higher than any other faction, even though they're a lot less durable.
Go. Keep going.
Especially because they can kite. They can
G2B,
shoot
copy.
in multiple directions,
I copy.
generally. Or at least they have a couple weapons that'll be able to do it.
I copy.
So if you can pick off
Reporting.
stuff and then just
Over
kind
there.
of pull back, you'll still be doing damage the whole time. If
We've
it-
lost a build pad.
Armor.
It gives them probably one of the higher skill floors,
A build pad.
but it also gives them a higher skill ceiling. And it's something that even I do in like the Empire of the Hand playthrough, where I've lost a lot of ships just because I was impatiently jumping directly in to situations that were going to be less advantageous for me, and not using the actual strength of my ships because I would just like jump, just get to the battle and end up straight in
Copy. Let's move out. Yes, Commander.
with everything that shouldn't really be tanking. Sold that before we had infantry in range.
Secured a build pad.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Dedicated A. The T1Bs are good for that, for the New Republic.
Target in range. This way.
Infantry are quite good against air units as well.
Over there.
Pull back.
G2B over.
We've secured
On
a
it,
build
sir.
pad.
EOTH has Kairov.
Construction complete. Turret constructing.
G2B, copy. Fire! I'm here, sir. Right. Ready. Got it. I copy. Course locked.
I really like this map. It's a converted skirmish map, but pretty much always enjoyed playing on it. It's not too big, but there's enough different options on where to go.
Affirmative. Moving out. Armor ready.
On defense, it's defendable, but you do gotta move forward, but you can't just sit back. Gotta be a bit more active than you do on certain other maps.
Roger that. Right away.
Hail fires against hordes of infantry do not end well for the infantry.
Unit destroyed.
Form up. Attacking target. Forward. Awaiting orders. Copy. Fall out, troops. I copy.
Construction complete. Turret constructed.
Awaiting orders. Right away. Copy. Reporting. Let's move
Alright,
out.
let's move some of you guys over there. It's gonna be a bombing run soon, I'm sure.
Right away. Fall out, troops.
Back off, maybe.
Yes, sir. Yes, Commander.
Construction complete.
Ready. Let's move out. Attacking. Firing. I've got him in my sight. For the Republican charge. Moving ahead.
It would probably be nice if they had better access to another landing zone, so maybe if this path actually was a path.
Yes, sir.
Because it can be a bit harder to attack, just through the number of options you end up with. And I don't think that would impact defensibility that much. Like, you'd still have the option to, you just have to be a little bit
Armor standing by. Armor ready.
more spread
Over
out.
there. Ready to roll.
Destroyed.
There they are. Can do.
Even infantry only would
Right.
be workable
Got it.
for that.
Moving out. Heading out. Yes, sir.
Way up through here, along, almost like the Egg map. We're all gonna go.
Moving ahead.
There's no way they have very much left here. And by here, I mean in the galaxy. I think they've used like most of their units on this.
Reporting. Adjusting navigomputer. Heading out, sir.
Unit destroyed.
Affirmative. Fall out, troops. Yes, sir. Attack! Advancing. Advance!
Alright, let's back up a bit.
Turret has been sold.
Refresh our turrets for
Commander.
one more push from them, I
Right
think.
away.
They haven't used a bombing run or an orbital bombardment that I've noticed, have they?
Ready to roll. Ready. Move it out. T2B over.
Are there so many Hellfire Dreads? I don't think they have any more heavy construction facilities right now. Or many more, at least. They're kind of just building what they want in their fighter factories.
Fall out, troops. Fall out,
We've
troops.
secured a building.
Let's go. Let's move out. Armor ready. Ready to roll.
We've secured
Roger that. Form up.
All right, men, take cover.
Form up. Keep going. This way.
Alright, I
Waiting
think
orders.
it's just going to be the field base there.
Course plotted. Adjusting navigomputer.
We've
Spread out,
secured
man.
a build pad.
Advancing.
Alright, there we go. About 25-ish units. Another successful defense, which means like their planets are going to be pretty empty on the ground. They only had the 3 or 4 that they had access to here. Let's see. We'll make a decision now-ish about what our goal... No, we'll decide at the start of the next stream what our goals are going to be. I think we're just going to plug away at Zindj right now. We'll take Dathomir for sure right now, with the forces coming from Yavin. I would like to take the Transitory Mists.
Joining fleet at new rally point.
Let's do... Let's get...
Construction complete.
Unit
Cough
in
syrup.
production.
Well,
Vehicle in
get
production.
even more boarding ships. We are going for Mandalore.
Construction complete.
Let's go.
Construction complete. Construction
Course
complete.
plot. Assault frigate here.
Construction complete.
You not at Biss yet? Oh. I'm gonna move down here before I'm going in. There is still this Imperial fleet at Glenad. Oh, they have Putrick, actually.
Construction
How about some
complete.
backup? Star Destroyer reporting in. Assault frigate
Yeah,
here.
all capital yards was originally the goal, but we're gonna be getting there a bit faster than I intended.
Construction complete.
Better than I thought.
Yes, my lord.
Right.
Corona
Let's
class
see.
frigate reporting.
Boarding shuttle awaiting target.
We only have one infantry company here. Gotta be careful on that. Dinch has a space-based faction capital, so none of that left.
Copy. I copy. Reporting.
Beginning construction.
En route. Moving to coordinates. Yes, sir. Let's go. Adjusting navigation.
Maximum loop capacity.
Ready for orders.
Is there a field base on this one?
We've secured.
Yes,
I
Commander.
really wish I had used the Gallifrey HTT some more.
Heading out.
Construction complete. We've
Ready.
lost a build.
Keep going. The enemy has been spotted.
The field base.
Keep going.
Are you alright?
Weapons online. This way. Over there. I copy. Yes, there they are. Yes, sir. Form up.
Get back there. Back here. Juggernaut's a bit difficult.
Reporting. En route.
Let's go into the base, and we'll move. Go back to here.
Yes, sir. Moving to coordinates.
We'll have to draw the Juggernaut out.
I've got a lock.
May have to cheese it a bit.
Roger that. Right away. Attack. Moving out.
We'll just use regular attacks to kill this.
Fire.
We've lost a build.
And then when power to weapons is up on everything, we'll use power to weapons on the Moth Palace to kill our good friend Tubo. Probably pronounced Tubbo.
Attack that target. All out. Attacking target. Let's move out.
Alright.
Let's go. Keep going.
Got him in there.
I copy. Let's go. Destination armor. Standing by.
I should use the heavy tracker. I was just dropping that for the vision. Well, looks like we don't need the vision.
Unit
Roger that.
We just need to deploy.
Yes, Commander. This way. Over there.
And I think we can hold here.
Ready to roll.
Drop on that.
Ready. Fire at will.
See if we can get some help in there. Hey, he's legally distinct from Jabba.
Executing flight. Copy. En route.
We've lost
Reporting
a
in.
build.
Moving to coordinates.
I think they pulled the A6, or not A6, A5 out.
We're going in. Form up. This
Back
way.
off.
I'll follow your lead. Form up. Right behind you. Ready for duty. Computers locked on target. Standing by. Right away. All squad ready for attack.
Hey, here comes the Juggernaut.
All out.
There to there.
Take a minute, go. Keep going. Initiating sweep. This way. Waiting orders.
Let's sensor ping. That's a barracks. Free still.
Ready to
All right.
go. Commander, over there.
It's right on the edge too, so unless the Juggernaut came back already, I think we're
Awaiting orders.
okay.
Ready, sir. Scouting location. Executing flyby. Weapons on. Copy. En route. I've got a lock. Moving to coordinates. Roger
If we
that.
had some heavier vehicles for this, we'd
Copy.
be
I'm here, sir. This way.
doing a little bit more than just cheese, but we got
Ready for orders. Attack. Over there.
okay, well, that's one of them down.
Waiting orders. Right away. Moving out. Heading out. Ball out. Affirmative. Copy. On it, sir. Course.
See if we can get up
Reporting in.
to here at least.
Right. Got Yes, sir. Adjusting navigator. Copy. Let's move out.
I think we've killed most of their heavier vehicles.
Guarding the rehab.
There's probably like an A6 left, or not an A6, an ATTE.
Let's go. Attacking target. Keep going. This way. Fire and wind. Over there.
Really just wanted a. Ooh, there's an ATTE. Yikes.
Reporting. Executing flight.
Get out of there.
Copy. Moving to coordinates.
I just wanted a repair station.
Course plotted.
Okay, let's get our T4s then.
Ready to roll.
Time to fill out some tax forms.
Copy.
Please use your artillery.
Yes, Commander. Roger that.
And by use, I mean
We're going in.
shoot. Shoot your weaponry.
Ground targets locked.
Oh,
Ready.
our little sensory boy's gone.
Let's move out. Let's go. Keep going. This way. Form up. Heading out. All weapons loaded. Target.
Get down there.
Be over.
Get down there. I just want a repair station.
Copy.
One of you get over here and let me repair, please.
Standing by. Yes, sir. Copy. Right away.
Please just let me
We've
repair.
secured a build pad.
Ready to go.
Oh, that would be secure.
Moving out.
Well, let's get out there.
Form up. I copy. Right away. Moving ahead.
One of these
Commander.
notepads.
T2B, copy. Right away. Fire at will.
A build pad.
Waiting orders. Attack. Open fire. Ready, sir.
No, they're close enough. I just wasn't getting in position for them.
Repair station constructing.
Yes, Commander.
If you can't get down there, then it's mostly my own fault. Otherwise, if they're too close, if you have them between battles, then they're just going to shoot the stuff that you're trying to land,
I copy, sir. Reporting. Heading out, sir.
because they are persistent.
Ready for orders.
We've secured a landing zone.
Course plotted. Adjusting navigation. Heading out.
See if we can go to that one.
Roger that.
And you guys are all fine now, so we can go into the base. I'm going to go into the back, because I'm pretty sure they didn't build an AA turret over there.
Waiting orders. Executing flyby.
The fact that they render under the grass props isn't super helpful. So in a few of those situations, when we see them, we should try to make sure we're not doing that anymore. Speaking of,
Gold Squadron commencing attack.
Keep going. This way.
I got my
Over
approach vector.
there.
Awaiting.
so much for those.
On it, sir.
They were all going to get commendations, and now they're dead.
Advancing. They're falling back.
All right, Dathomir,
Victorious.
Dathomine. That's how that works, right?
Planetary control achieved.
Building started.
Do we want ion cannon? Sure.
Building under construction.
Ooh, that's
Construction
actually an empty
complete.
planet. My empty planet.
Enlisting troops.
Engage.
Boarding shuttle awaiting target.
Imminent.
Enemy units sighted.
Choose your reinforcements.
Imagine my luck.
On our
My
way.
surprise, even.
Yes, sir. We're on a road.
We gotta do this
We're
quick.
on our way. We're inbound.
Let's move out. Let's go.
Heading to destination.
Copy.
Standing by. On my way.
Form up. Direct fire. on
Nebula
the
class on standby.
Battleship responding.
Yes, Admiral.
Swinging around.
Nebula class reporting in.
Reporting. Open fire.
Carrier standing by.
Bombers at the ready.
Yes, sir.
I think that's it. Oh, no, there's an ads here. There's some ads floating around. There we go. We got them. Ladies and gentlemen, ads block has been enabled. Is there any way for the AI to beat 10 ground fighters on defense? Like, depends what they have. If they have, like, a full planet, then yeah, for sure. But, to a certain extent, there's... If you get a full stack of anything in the game, the AI will often not have much they can do about that. How many do they have? That's only 175. 42 ads is...
We're moving out.
Reporting.
Move out.
Did they... they're in position to do that.
Reporting in. Reporting.
Building started.
One cannon. Cassie, let's get
Unit in
Lannis missing. Orleus.
production. Building under construction.
Oh, we do have a fleet here, or a fleet commander here.
Will be an asshole.
Our first impromptu commander.
With all speed.
Not really impromptu. It's the wrong word.
Reporting.
Construction.
Our first field
Reporting
commander.
in.
Okay, fine.
Right away. Reporting. Moving out. En route.
Constructing.
Assault frigate here.
They don't build many ATAs. They do build some, but even without ATAs, you can beat air units. Like a couple ATAs would be the most reliable way to beat that stack. But like infantry are actually pretty good at taking down air units. And there are a couple other units that are as well.
Yes, Commander. Fall out, troops.
Choose your reinforcements.
Moving to coordinates. En route. Let's move
They do
out.
tend to be a bit more abusable by the player because of how quickly they can just get in and out. And if you come across like one AA turret with
Reporting.
2 or 3 squads, you're kind of
Roger that.
pretty often going to be SOL.
Ready. Right away.
We've lost a build pad.
We've got them. Send reinforcements. I've got a lot. Attack. Moving out. Fire. Getting out. Open fire. Attack that target. Attack the target. Fire and win. Attacking. Targeting. Fire and win. All out.
Build pad.
Let's move out. Let's go. Keep going. We're going in. We've got them on the run.
Yeah, Commissar. Been
Ground target locked.
quite a lot since then. Hell, even the last 4 months. This build's like 4 months old now. Looks very different from 3.1, which should be coming out pretty soon.
Constructing.
Constructing.
That's another free planet for us, basically.
Engage.
Just gonna grab that, because I think they just took Wayland.
Tactical
Which, yeah, I'm just gonna auto-resolve that, because there's not much going on there.
Underway.
Orders received.
Let's just
Construction complete.
Beginning
planet.
construction.
put Singe down to Mercure and Abro Sky. Well, they do have Sapphire. It would be nice if I could build Quasars. Get Crack of Dawn. Air Fighter.
Vehicle
Oh,
in
I'm
production.
gonna try to get all of our remaining ones.
Vehicle
Majestic
in
Warlord
production.
Star, Deathhawk,
Vehicle in
Bell Cruiser,
production.
Radish
Unit in
Jr.,
production.
Righteous Cause, Fish Stick for
Unit in
Winter,
production. Vehicle
War of the
in
Pride,
production.
and Sensor Node Enthusiasts. What's our easiest access into Jameis? I think they're both kind of equal. All right. We want to beat the Duro fleet. Well, Duro stack. Can you really describe it as a fleet if it's 18 of those guys? Build
Unit
Queen
in
Amidala's
production.
Revenge, Obvious Joke,
Unit in production.
Monetization, Bale's
Constructing
Pride,
unit in
Pennywise Only
production.
Use,
Unit in production.
Erod, Cuomo, Forlorn Hope,
Constructing unit.
Astral
Constructing
Hammer,
unit
Battle
in
Body,
production.
Nebulon Shmebulon, Rebel
Constructing
Commando,
unit. Constructing unit.
Bone, Rebel
Vehicle in
Scum.
production. Constructing.
I'm just gonna build all the remaining patron units. Alright. So, let's see. I'm gonna save. I think we're gonna end here, and there'll be the stream on Sunday where we'll finish. Our targets are gonna be Kua, Duro, Jameis, Sapphire, and Transitory Miss. Plus, we'll get a couple other in there. But I think once those are done, and those 2 Zinj stacks, once those are done, then we'll have basically killed everything. And we'll see how long that takes. Then we'll just kind of like keep going for however long we feel like it after that, depending on how long it all ends up taking. But yeah, I would like to do some of the Yavithan stuff. So that'll kind of just be if we're going for 5 hours already at that point, maybe not. If we're going for, I feel like we could do it in 2, really. So if that's the case, we'll kill Dala. We'll go and we'll get some Yavithan blood on our hands. But that's going to do it for tonight. Tomorrow night, we are going to be doing Top Half Transmissions. That's going to be over on X channel. We're going to be doing Q&A for that one. Because we decided we didn't want to read anything in one day. We were still talking about what our options were for topics. After that, we're probably going to be doing Beerio Kart over on X2, where Ek is already, I think, streaming some TR currently. So he's playing the New Republic as well. So check that out after this stream as well. I'll try to drop a link in the chat for that. But thanks again for watching. Once again, stream on Sunday to finish this playthrough. Then we'll be starting the CIS. The patron unit choices for that will be up on the 2nd. Well, they'll be up on Patreon tomorrow. They'll be up on the YouTube channel, like with the video announcing it. That'll be on the 2nd, so that it doesn't interfere with our big teaser video for tomorrow. But either way, thanks again for watching, everyone. Have a good night, and see you tomorrow. Bye.